Hey guys, just a quick video to hopefully give you some tips on buying a carpet cleaner if you're in the market. Now, we've had a bunch of these and I've been using this one now for a while, so I wanted to give you my thoughts on it. This is my latest one, and we don't have much here. We just have some area rugs. Got one in the dining room, got one in the living room, got one in the master bedroom, so we don't have a whole lot. Now, our last house had some carpet in it, and we've had units here from Hoover. I've had full units from Bissell. I still use this little tiny spot clean from Bissell. It does a great job for little tiny pet stains and stuff like that. But for larger jobs, you need a full-size unit. Believe me, I've tried to use this on larger areas and it just doesn't work. So this is a mid-grade model, and I'm gonna go through some of the features real quick so you can determine if you want a lower grade. Mid-grade might work for you, or you may want to pony up and spend $250, $300 on one of the top of the line units. First of all, you will find units like this under $100. Don't even consider them. They're basically that with a set of wheels on it. They are no frills, they're tiny, they're low power, they suck. They do a terrible job, even for small jobs. I suggest you at least start around $150. Now, this particular model is the Hoover Dual Power Max carpet cleaner. It ranges between $150 and $200, depending on where you're getting it. I got it on sale at my local Walmart for $150, and it does a really good job for what we need. Now, some of the features it has, being a mid-grade model, it has a fairly large tank. You've got a gallon of storage for clean and dirty water. It does have a hose. It is detachable. It goes right down there. And it's got a basic brush and suction tip and a nice long cord. So it's good for stairs or tight spots. So you don't need a separate little unit like that to get into stuff. You've got it all in one unit, and it is separate. That's gonna be a pro and a con. It's a pro for me because I'm hardly ever gonna have to use it for small stains. I have that already, and we don't have stairs or anything like that. So I may never use the hose, but if I do, it's there, and I don't have to lug it around. It's not taking up room, it's not taking up weight. But if you need one a lot, well, that's a con. So you'd probably want a better model with it attached. This has an extra little boost here. So while you're cleaning, you can just push that down and it basically doubles the rate of your water. And that gives some extra cleaning. I have not had to use that. It cleans really well on its own, just with the default, even on high traffic areas. But it's there if you need it. Everything comes apart very easily. Quick release everything. No problems there. This is your fill port and your measuring cups. Pretty much like laundry detergent. You fill up this cap here full of your soap and dump it in, and then fill up in the sink. Now, that means, yes, you have to pre-measure your detergent, your cleaner. And that's something that you don't have to do on the higher end models. You'll have a separate tank just for soap and a separate tank just for your pure clean water, and it will mix it, sometimes in varying ratios. My last full-size Bissell, you could adjust it from heavy to light, and it would adjust the ratio of soap to water. Didn't really find that necessary. Once I found the ratio that I liked for our carpet, I just left it on there. So that's not a real huge deal. But if you're going through a lot of volume, like I said, if you're doing a whole house, it would get annoying having to mix every single tank. The tank goes pretty quickly. For example, one area rug took 3 full tanks, so 3 gallons of water, just to get through the rug on a deep clean. So it would get old really quick if you're doing this a lot. So you definitely want one with a separate tank for any kind of heavy volume. The dirty water tank is fairly easy to work. It comes off no problem. It can be a little tricky going back in. You have to tilt it pretty extreme. And then it doesn't always want to quite line up, so it won't always snap back into place. And you got to finagle it a little bit. But other than that, it's no big deal. And then it's pretty much like a bucket. You just wash everything out, and there's a little screen filter that you can just rinse out, and dump that down the sink. And that's all there is to dumping the dirty water. And it does have an auto shut off float filter. However, you have to watch it. So as it gets full, this closes kind of like a toilet tank, and that makes sure it can't overflow and suck in more water than it can hold. But it doesn't shut off the unit. It just stops sucking. So you've got to be watching to make sure that this doesn't stop flowing water, because if it does, it means this is full. And it doesn't really look that full. It gets up to about here and it shuts off. It stops sucking, doesn't shut off. So check that out. Make sure that you're pulling water. Now the unit down here is half cleanable. On the lower end units, none of it is cleanable. You have to disassemble absolutely every part to clean inside the nozzle and the brush areas and all that. If you want to clean out the nozzle, which is the number one part that will get clogged, especially pet hair and stuff like that. Like you can see the stuff in here that I couldn't rinse out yet. But this comes right off. It just slides right off. However, you can't pop this off, so you can't clean around the brushes. You still have to flip the whole unit upside down and unscrew parts and disassemble things if you need to deep clean in here. Now I found it no big deal, because this is very light. They definitely get lighter over the years. I found it no big deal to just flip it on its side over in the utility sink and use the spray wand and hose it out. And I'd say about 90% of the gunk came right out doing it that way. So none of the water got into the unit or anything, but just hosing out the brush areas, that wasn't a big deal. And the stuff that's still in there, it's not in the way of anything. So I won't have to disassemble that for a long time. Rinsing it out is no problem. However, if you do need to fully clean everything out frequently, definitely get a higher end model, because the entire brush assembly area will come off just like the nozzle on here. So no disassembly, no screws needed for the higher end models. So, kind of figure that out, what is important to you. But it does a really good job. Pretty much anything 150 bucks and over is going to clean really well. You're just paying for the convenience features. So that's it. Hope it helps. See you next time.